Hey everyone, Sam and Chris from Wyvern Kodiak here. Before we get started, like and subscribe, check out some of the other videos and content that we have on our channels. Thanks a lot. Hey everyone, Sam at Wyvern Kodiak, and I am here checking out the Kizer Hawk. Now Chris couldn't be with us today. He's outside making snow angels, and I'm in here playing with knives. So he's an irresponsible adult in my opinion. Anyhow, this was given to me by Fred the Lug to check out. Fred, appreciate you, my friend. You are incredible for sharing your collection with us all the time, and we greatly appreciate that. Now, this knife is part of a package that Fred sends us, and usually he sends us a handful of knives to review. We send them back, and then he'll send us some more. But I actually had one of these already, and I thought they're a little bit different. I should probably do a review with both of them and let everybody see the differences here. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's do a quick walk around on this knife because I think these are really cool. So you've got the obvious speed holes, which I know not everybody's a speed hole person. I personally am. I like them. I think they're cool. You've got a copper pivot collar, which is starting to patina, and that's some nice character on it. You have a lanyard hole. You have a big copper backspacer with some texturing on it, flipper tab. You have this big frag pattern patch right here. Up at the top is plain tie, and then down at the bottom over here is again more of that micro milling. And then you have a milled titanium pocket clip, which if you look here, there's no entry ramp on it. It just sits very low and flat. So we'll test this out later, but I'm not quite sure how that one's gonna work. And then on the spine, you have some jimping, and it is a liner lock. So let's open this up. And there it is. It is a beautiful sheep's footy blade with this cool shaped flicking hole on it, which is reminiscent of a hawk's eye. Now the black one is same patterns on it, more of that micro milling texture on here, speed holes, pivot collar, though no difference in the colors. All this same stuff, just this one is black. So now, there are some differences in these knives besides the aesthetics only. This one does come in S45VN. This one is M390. Both have a hardness of 60 to 62 here. This is black DLC. It is a polished black DLC. And I do have a cloth off to the side out of camera here. I may be wiping this from time to time. I don't own many of these because I can't keep the dang fingerprints off of these things. So we'll see how long this lasts in this video. But nevertheless, the clean titanium version here has a stonewash blade. So this one is going to be a little bit better for the fingerprints. And if I have to, I'll wipe that one too. So let's do some size comparisons real quick. I use knives that are pretty common amongst the community and most are familiar with. This is a Demko 80-20.5. Let's move this up a little bit, give me some space here. Demko 80-20.5, and this is a Demko Shark Cub. You can see that the Hawk is bigger than both. Now, I have a couple more here, and that is a Benchmade Bug Out, and I have a Vosteed Porcupine. A Porcupine, there we go. And again, the Hawk is bigger than both. So you do have a full-size knife here. Let's go over the specs. The overall size on this knife is 7.98 inches. The blade on here is 3.41 inches. The weight on this is 4.77 ounces, and the black one is 4.51 ounces. I'm guessing that the copper probably is the added weight in this situation, so it's not an awful lot, but it's notable. Now, let's talk ergos for a sec. Ergos in hand, 4-finger grip. This is very comfortable, but this is the only grip. I would not trigger grip this thing because right here I'm touching the blade. So, a little sketchy, not quite sure I'm comfortable with that. This is not comfortable here. I guess you can do it if you want, but I wouldn't do this. This isn't very comfortable. 4-finger grip right here, locked in, very comfortable, no hot spots, no pinch points, nothing is getting me here. So it's a pretty cool ergonomically for single grip though. And put your thumb out on the jimping here, and this is okay jimping. It's not terrible, it's not fantastic, it's got enough texture there that it's locking me in. So I'm comfortable with this right like this. Very, very nice. I'm very comfortable. Action on this thing is pretty interesting. So that is probably the shining star about this knife. The action on this thing is outstanding. So close, it just drops. Right? I mean, it literally just drops. It flies open on the reverse flick. It flies open easily on the flipper tab. It's very, 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 very easy, and it is an absolute guillotine. So I really enjoy the action on this. Now, the action is probably attributed to a few different things besides the geometry of the knife. It does have double row bearings on this thing, which is cool, and that definitely can contribute to some smoothness. I can tell you it does not need skiffs. This is not going to get any faster, smoother, or quicker. So if you put skiffs on it, I mean, I'm not sure what you're accomplishing with that other than maybe just having something that is encased in phosphorus bronze or something like that. But other than that, you can't get much easier and smoother than that one. Another cool feature on this knife, and I'm going to try and get it in camera here, is you have your stop pin right here, and then right behind it, a little lower right there, is a second stop pin. So it does have a dual stop pin system on this, which is really, really nice. It definitely is going to secure things, and it doesn't hit anywhere near the blade. Everything is back behind the tang, so very, very cool on that. And if you look in here, I'm going to try and get this one as well. It doesn't have a detent ball. That is a detent barrel. Okay, it's a round cylindrical piece of metal that sticks up instead of your typical ceramic ball. So when it makes it around to the detent hole, and there's no exposure to the detent hole, and I'm not going to take any of these apart, but when it does, it falls into that hole. It locks it in really, really nice. This thing is bank vault lockup. So super, super cool on that as well. I really dig this knife. Let's do a quick overview on the pocket clip, because this is something that I am really quite curious as to whether or not it's any good. As you can see, it sits very low. It is tight, and it has a very low profile. If you look against something else, I'm trying to see if I got a good knife for it. I don't have one that's close by that has that. I mean, I have a wire clip here. So if I were to look at something like this, you can see how much taller it stands up, but I don't know that that's a very good comparison, so let's not do that one. Let's pull out the trusty test pants, and let's do a pocket clip check on this thing. Now, for those of you new to the channel, this is a medium set of denim jeans, medium thickness. And I'm going to put the knife in the pocket to see how easy it slides in, how well the retention is, how easy it is to slide out, and is it going to cause any damage or fraying on the seams of your pants. So it went over surprisingly easy, and the black one's a little bit more stiff, but it's not terrible. For medium thickness jeans, I would say that these are not going to work in like sweatpants, but as far as this goes, we'll take a look at these, but this is actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So it sticks up, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch in the pants. So it's not super, super deep carry, but it doesn't stand out proud and take up a lot of real estate there when it's sticking out. Now, the retention on it is very, very good. These are holding well. And then they come out very easy without a problem. Yeah, you know, I am absolutely shocked by how good these pocket clips are. Considering that it has no ramp on them, I'm absolutely stunned by that. But nevertheless, such is that we learn, right? So these pocket clips absolutely get a passing grade. I'd say I'm actually pretty impressed with those pocket clips. So, hey, something I learned. I guess I'm gonna have to start carrying this thing, huh? Oh, I see fingerprints already. Okay. All right, so let's talk about any negatives on here. I have a couple of small ones, and they're not earth-shattering, and they're not going to change the way the knife is made because it's not something that is functionally a problem. This is my subjective view. One is right here is where your plunge grind ends, and it's an acceptable plunge grind that will get you plenty of life on this knife. But here's the thing. There is a lot more ramp, right? A lot more swoop in this than it needs to be. And I think you could have made this a little steeper and actually gotten a few more sharpenings out of this blade. That's one thing. The other thing is ergonomically, it's fantastic, but there is literally one way to hold this. That's it. And maybe that is by the design that they wanted it to be. And if that's fine, that's completely fine. But I'd like to have a couple more ways, or at least one more way to hold this knife. If you could have figured out a way to low profile this flipper, tuck it in, I could have gotten over here, really torqued into it. Awesome. And then the jimping is not a problem. It's a preference. I like really sharp jimping. I like the type of jimping that takes your skin off. And this is not smooth, but it could have been sharper. And the last thing is just that the front has these beautiful speed holes, and the back has this beautiful frag pattern, and it just seems like a weird design. I don't know. What do you guys think on that? I'm one of those types of people that I like my fronts and backs to match, and they just don't seem like they're wearing the same pattern here. So it's just a weird look. That's all. It's not functionally a problem. I would have just preferred a little bit of a, either do this on the other side, do the other side on this one, something like that. How do these two sides tie in other than this micro milling? And that's where I don't see it. So I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you all have one of these, or have you handled one? Have you ever wanted to handle one of these? And what do you think about the shape on this? Is it a little too wild or a little too out there for you? As far as utilitarian goes, I could tell you the shape is very conducive to some really nice utilitarian work on here. I mean, running flat here, not cranking the wrist, it's really great. So I think it's a very useful knife. I think it's a very fidgety knife. It's beautiful fit and finish on this thing. The small little things that I'm not a big fan of are subjective, and I know others are fans of. So would love to hear what you all think. Give us a like, comment, subscribe if you're not to our channel. Check us out on Instagram. And then Wednesday nights, join us in the Dragon's Lair for our lives on YouTube. We'd love to have you. We're looking forward to talking to you soon. You all take care.